So I always used to wonder with the good guides, why would they need the likes of us? What have we got that they need? They're all so highfalutin, and they know this and they know that. So what have we got? You know, one minute we love someone, I hate them, but I love them really. You know, our emotions are up and down like yo-yos. So bearing all that in mind, what have we got that they need? And there are two things as I understand it. One is we have the power of the mind. And the power of the mind, if you think of the sun, you just travel 93,000 million miles in a split second. That is an enormous energy on tap, available all the time. And the other thing is our chi or pranic or zoom energy, which is what we are. Combine that with your free will, which is the whole essence of what everyone's battling for in the astral realms, is for you to hand over your free will. Now me, I pretty much get plugged in, I think, when I do these talks, and because I offer myself up, and then all the goodies seem to happen from there on in. The whole idea is our free will. So if you're looking to say, to help people and stuff like that, then the good guides, they're going to come through you, because when you have thoughts, these are read in the astral realms because it's coming out as colour and vibration and a frequency. So it's kind of like we're like a spiritual talent show. You know, we're all there and they're like looking, well, we'll go for that one or we'll blow that one out. That type of thing. So the good and the bad and the ugly, whatever, they are all looking to get one thing that links profusely in the astral realms, and that's energy. Energy leaks profusely in the astral realms and has to be replenished. And that's why all the guides, the good, the Buddha and all that, they need our energy. Because we are the ones that actually control what is happening to a great extent in the astral realms. Now the lower level entities, they understand this all too clearly. And so what they're living off is they're coming through on fear, anxiety, depression and so forth. That's their tools, because all they want to do is take that energy and just feed themselves, because it's of a low level. It's more of a, they haven't got ego, but they've certainly got that aspect that they are looking to just get energy, raw energy. The guides, so when I'm doing my work, I send the energy to the guides, and they can work, and they work through me, and I send the energy through my free will for healing purposes. So the whole thing is there's this battle going on in the astral realms, and I never really understood this, but I went on this quest to discover the scientific, not so much the medical, but certainly the scientific understanding of how energy works and why things are the way they are. So bearing all that in mind, once I started to figure these things out, the healing changed more, because then all of a sudden I'm starting to get the hang of what this is all about. The last few years has changed a lot more, because before I now do healings, I believe unless you come to the core issue, if you say someone, say, has a tumour, a cancerous tumour, you can take that out. But unless you get to the core issue, my understanding is this is going to come back in another place or another face, because you've not got to the core issue. Now the core issues, some of the core issues that I figured out are this. One, it could be a soul contract, that you've sort of come through in a certain expression to, say, evoke compassion in others. And you've decided at 24 years old that you're going to get some sort of cancer or something like that to evoke the compassion in others. This is a very high thing to do on a soul level. Now we could say, well, why would you do that? Why? Because you're helping others to understand compassion. And that is what you have agreed to do with your maker, the divine, and your guides. And that is that. Now, if that is the case, I don't believe there's anyone could really do that much to stop that, because that is between you and your maker. There could be other things. There could be things like a karmic link. You've done things that you have to pay a price for in past incarnations, and you have to The laws are the laws. They just work the way they work. And so if there's been a karmic situation going on, there will be a karmic debt that has to be paid. That's another thing. It could be that you have life's lessons. Have you learnt that lesson to receive a healing? Maybe, but if you haven't, you will learn it. There would be other things like genetics. That could be linked to the karma too. But genetics to come through. It could be on a family lineage. It could be a curse. It could be this and that. So what I've started to understand is that my guides were starting to show me these things a lot clearer than before. Now, I think one of the reasons that I get these sort of things happening is because when I was in the early days of getting these gifts, what happened was that I was laying in bed and this voice said, "So you like to get high, do you?" And I'm like, "Oh," because I have taken a lot of drugs and all sorts of stuff in my time. And I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah, but not." And they went, "Well, get ready." And I'm like, you know. So I've kind of lifted up, I lifted that off, and I'm looking down at my body. And then I was just taken somewhere, and right in front of me was Jesus. Now, I didn't believe that Jesus had walked the earth. I thought it was a fabrication set up by religion to control people. I did. And so I'm like, "Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I really got that one wrong." So I went to fall down on my knees. He's going, no, you and I work together. There were 4 men in front of us in biblical attire. And they were all in suspended animation. And then we started to do this healing where we was flying around and all these colours and lights. And I'm like, "Oh, it's great, you know." And each time Jesus said these words when we would go from each person. He said, "The prodigal son, the healer, the teacher, and the chosen one." So this was going on, and it's lovely, and it's just wonderful. And these people again, there was I think a leper, a cripple, someone was blind, and something else. And they were all getting healed. So then I just saw the face of Jesus smiling, and then bang, I'm back in my body. And I'm like, wow, that was, I better be quiet about this one, otherwise it's, lock me up and throw the key away job. But that happened. And from that point on, Jesus was present in my life. Now, the thing about it is, I'm not irreverent at all about this. But also, I don't fall in my knees in like a crumpled pile whenever I talk about Jesus, because I don't think that's what it's meant to be. I think you're meant to be very down to earth, regular, and everything else. You don't need to talk in hushed tones and this, that. And I really don't believe that. So whenever I'm dealing with different entities, nasty entities, what happened was when I was with someone, and this is what they do in Brazil, is that they would, in a group of people, they would take a situation where, say, a woman had, she's pregnant. There was this one case. This woman was pregnant. She had lost 2 children in the 6th month of pregnancy. She went along to see all the experts, this, that. No one could figure it out. So we knew it wasn't a physical problem. She was mentally sound, so it wasn't a mental problem. So they knew it was a spiritual problem. Basically, the gist of the story was they knew there was some obsession that was creating the deaths of these children before they were born. What they then did was they went back in time until these. So you have this group of maybe 12 mediums. 6 of them incorporate entities, spirits, whatever you want to say, and 6 of them are technicians that actually deal with the entities. So what happened in this particular case was that they're going back in time, and then this entity came into one of the mediums. One of the technicians said, "Okay, where are you?" "Well, this is Paris, 1758 or something." "Yeah? What are you wearing?" "I'm wearing this." So then they would write this down, because they were very much about documenting each case. And what they found out was that the woman that had come into this spirit, she was married to this man. And the woman that was pregnant had stole her man when she was like this 18-year-old gal. The woman had ended up